They praise peace and they sell weapons.
goddess of her golden blades, goddess of balance, Astraea waits. She watches from her bed of clouds the world below, which spills with harmonious hierarchies and camaraderie between species. Predators chase their prey, mating rituals, aging, death and decay. Everything in the kingdom is in its rightful place, Astraea being no stranger to her task. Everything she yawns, stretches her arms far and wide, lets out a small sigh, until something catches her eye. Two sunbearers dart through the open air, a pigeon race that cuts through the trees like the launch of a slingshot. And then, Astraea witnesses it in plain sight. A large, monstrous, feathered beast that spots and chases and catches, striking down one of the two birds. He's like a shot. Caught by surprise, the wounded has no time to react. The first bird falls and the goddess gasps. The second bird flees the scene, insistent on survival. The goddess extends her arms to catch the bird, but it wriggles through her fingers, leaving the first bird behind. It's quick, unforgiving, shock adrenaline goes amiss, and the poor pigeon propels itself, spiraling into a harsh head first against a wild grown-up path. Dust pulverizes at his heels. He is done. Begins a descent down the steps from heaven, ready to restore the order. But the beast is like an arrow. The white killer stands over curled talons, now a classified bird of prey, the first of its species. Astraea falls down her steps. She is too late. The ravished dog, the wicked thing, the feathered beast feasts upon the poor pigeon. He's white, towering over her metal blue grey. He gulps and he chokes until he finally devours, cleaning his teeth, a lion post-hunting beast. Unholy demise, this cannibalistic tendency. Beaks are fit for fish and earthworm, not plain sanguine for picking poor flesh. Rotten herb makes for rotten death. And so predators mistake wings for fins and birdsong for a war cry, defying elven aviary code. Squelching and cracking a sea of sound, Australia cries. Her scales break and burn, gold melting fast like tears falling from her eyes. She is broken, her purpose dismissed. Her purpose, her purpose, her purpose, her purpose, her purpose. The nature green dances in the morning wind. Water flows by in a nearby lake at the same exact velocity as it would at any other day. Except it crashes against blood-stained rock and black feather. Australia screams a growl of anger and despair. She is struck down from her heavenly steps. Her witnessing body lay afloat on the stream, like Ophelia in her bed of flowers. The goddess of justice's eyes gaze upon the poor pigeon for as long as the current lets her sway. The feathered beast hears the scream, the crash, and the strike, but he, pink-stained, runs gluttonous, arranging his dinner banquet before the second course. The goddess's whispers through all the revelry's feathers. He is favored. In his eyes, he is pure. God's knight, king's right-hand man, the corpse, poor and pure, a mere pigeon, struck young in its flight, young in its flight, struck young in its flight, struck young in its flight, struck young, yeah. não me combina. Jamais deveria uma árvore virar as costas à sua espécie irmã e dar a dentada do Adão numa maçã. A gaivota, o orfeu, a pomba, a ouriço. O mito repete e repete e repete e repete, igual ao crime de não confiar ou de confiar demais.
Saw the stone angels of Nagasaki. She saw hundreds of winged heads split open on the grass that had grown despite everything. She saw wings that will never fly again. She saw wings that tasted of earth. She was told nuclear deflagration at 10:58 a.m. She was told again, ultimatum, ultimatum. She thinks there must be a horse, a spell, an expand of light that has taken them away, that has carried them far away and preserved them forever at 10:57 a.m. So she resists with joy, with a smile, with an open hand. Yes, she resists. She saw the stone angels. In Taipei, around the central station, every night, a dog wanders there. There is joy for a brief moment, then the despair of the search, of the passage of time, the sadness in its eyes, its solitude, its abandonment, its awareness that at any moment the earth could tremble, eating the emptiness, desiring the superfluous, buying, consuming, shouting, trashing, staining. They communicate through their gaze. Dog of ashes, wandering heart, 10,000 arrows that pass through you. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. The little girl sleeps at night in a lake. Her breath stops for hours. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. They're gonna bomb Tehran. Wake up. It is the whale, stranded on a shore it should never have known. It is the pig that wakes up right before its death. Yes, it wakes up before its death. It knows that it's coming. It is metallic agony. It is these hands that no longer know how to kill. It's the world dismembered and your body abandoned. It is being aware of your wandering and discomfort costing humanity. It is writing in a notebook that used to be a tree. It is finding barbarians to create martyrs. It is erecting graves and selling weapons. And that is what they call progress. They praise peace and they sell weapons. And that is called progress today. It is glory and trade. It is mechanically generating death. It is time, in their world, to bomb schools, to put children asleep. It is time to terrify forests and set fire to the remains of time. It is time to explode again and again. It is time for the girl and the dog to wander alone. It is time to dream and to resist. It is time to say no to their vision. Love is screaming, let me in. Love. Our dimensions, to welcome into our life the invisible, to accept, to integrate that we are magic, that we are magical. It is time to integrate ourselves in the death of others. It is time to become part of the fires, of the waste, of the chemistry, of the formulas. It is time to be together again. It is time to recognize the vastness of our sacredness. It is time to recognize the love in a gaze. It is everything that can be read in your gaze.
basically, who are Pull the Plug and what are we working on? We work on, well, I'm Ed from Pull the Plug, and we work on AI and big tech. That's essentially what the movement is about. We are concerned people, concerned being a range of emotions from like really, really worried to very fucking angry. And we're a grassroots movement in the UK. So grassroots means like me, you, anybody, please sign up at the end of the talk if you think it sounds interesting. Just as a kind of like straw poll, could you make some noise if you love AI? Could you make some noise if you really, really hate AI? Okay, all right. I was thinking, because I was going to use that bit later and say there's a variety of opinions, and now I can't do that, so that's fine. But okay, so you've ruined my bit shortly, but that's good. Like, what are we trying to do? Well, we're a movement of people like you, obviously, but also we do want to involve all different points of view and opinion around AI. It's a big subject and it's a big technology that covers a lot of different stuff. We want to shift the conversation from like, this is something inevitable that's happening to us, to this is something that we can do something about. It's a zero-sum game of any campaigning or activism. Is like, if you don't do something, nothing happens. Sometimes you do a lot, nothing happens, to be fair, but you know, you do have to do something. And what it is that we do, we use protest, violent action, non-violent action, everybody, especially Becky who's recording, non-violent action, and call for, but our main call is actually for like binding citizens' assemblies around AI use. Why are we doing it in a really brief nutshell? It's everywhere. It's run by really weird people. Like big tech is the big problem. I might talk a bit about the culture in a minute if I get time. But it's changing our lives dramatically in a really huge way, and it's doing it so fast. And really importantly, it's ensconcing like billionaire power. Those crazy people who are running it, they're part of a really small sect whose power is getting entrenched by this technology and by our subscription and the way that the government uses it as well. So yeah, when we say pull the plug, we don't mean pull the plug on all uses of AI. Doubtless we're going to probably hear things tonight, some elements of which would use some form of AI. AI does data scraping for science analysis, but AI is also powering huge generative models that suck up water and electricity that we need. So when we say pull the plug, we mean pull the plug on job degradation, widespread unemployment, you know, AI stealing artists' work, writers' work, everybody's work. Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic, said at one point, AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. And it's not just white-collar jobs, because you wipe out those jobs, you take away jobs for so many people. You know, youth unemployment right now is at a massive low, and I think what we're doing by, you know, creating the market that we are, creating this huge vacuum, and loads of people stepping out of school and university are just stepping into the void when it comes to what's happening to that jobs market. We want to pull the plug on children's dependence on AI, and that means mental health support. Like, I don't know if you knew, when I heard this statistic, it blew my mind. 1 in 4 teenagers in the UK use AI as a form of emotional or mental support, right? Half of British teenagers can't distinguish the true from the false online, which I really like as a statistic, because I can't distinguish the true from the false online. Like, who can? If adults can't distinguish what's true and what's false online, how would we expect our children to? What kind of culture is that creating for us? We want to pull the plug on the massive expansion of data centers and the way that affects our climate and ecology. There are over 500 data centers in the UK. We're really close to some of the campaigns against new intensive AI data centers. And those new AI data centers are really bad. They suck up so much more water and electricity than others. And they take up water in places we really need it. In London, the intensity of data center building means that we're actually going to go way over our limit and not have enough water for other stuff if we build all of the data centers that are currently planned. So like, this will directly affect everybody in this room. Hosepipe ban does basically nothing. You could have like 15 hosepipe bans, or I think possibly more. I did the numbers the other day, I've forgotten. But like, for the amount of water that you use in AI. Then there's infiltration into our own lives as well. Our security, our privacy. I know, like, you know, when you downloaded Instagram or whatever social media platform you used, did you download it with the expectation that all of the stuff you put on there is going to get scraped and used by big generative engines and by AI? I know that I didn't. And then when it comes to stuff like job interviews and the way that AI starts running little elements of our lives, this is where some of the cultural thing comes in, because AI represents, to an extent, the views of the people who made it and the source material that it's trained on. And AI is trained on like Reddit forums and weird little corners of the internet. So AI has a pretty skewed worldview that is quite random at times as well. It means that AI is sexist. AI is extremely West-centric. AI is extremely white-centric. It has huge cultural problems that reflect the way that it's made, and that comes out in the way that it will begin to like affect and impact our lives if we let it run stuff. The final thing I want to say we want to pull the plug on is inequality and plutocracy. Plutocracy being the rule of rich people. It sharpens inequality. It's already sharpening inequality. Billionaire power, like OpenAI, the owner of OpenAI directly funds Trump. They want OpenAI to be partly owned by the US government. In the UK, we've got companies like Palantir, who do incredibly evil things. Their tech is used in the Gaza genocide. They are very easily getting contracts with our NHS, with our public services, without enough scrutiny and without any of our choice over what happens. So yeah, and if you think about it as well, 8 out of the 10 richest men in the world, very specifically richest men in the world, derive their wealth from AI development, cloud computing infrastructure and semiconductors. Those people, they're people who now rig elections here and in the UK. That is part of what we're trying to stop. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to pull the plug? Right, we know about the problem, so what can we do together? Well, this is the bit where I was going to return to the question and say, like, well, we've got a broad church, some people love it, some people hate it, some people use it a bit, but, you know, the truth is, like, I know that I do sometimes use elements of AI. Probably everybody in this room does. If you use a Google search now, automatic AI search with it, you know. What these people love us to do is to containerize us with that kind of complaining where we look at our own little problems, we look at what the neighbour's doing, and we go, well, he uses this and I use that, she does this, but I don't do that, so, you know, we're all different. And it loves that. Like, entrenched wealth absolutely loves that. So what we need in the face of that, and with all of the other kind of interlinked things I've mentioned as well, everything from Gaza to the implementation of structural sexism, we need mass solidarity around these things, right? And that means that's why we're asking for binding citizens' assemblies and why we're trying to form a big social movement around AI. In the meantime, we're also campaigning to stop data centres until we've agreed on what we do with data centres. So I would ask you to like join us, and I'll tell you a little bit about that afterwards. But just as a final thought, I want to just talk about the weird bastards who put this stuff on our planet, right? I've watched 3 interviews recently, one with Elon Musk being asked, what does the future look like for you? And he sits there in his ketamine haze and he goes, abundance. And it doesn't mean, what does it mean when he says abundance? He means abundance for Elon Musk, right? For somebody who has a huge portion of the world's wealth and wants to go to Mars. Peter Thiel, when asked if he wants the human race to survive, basically couldn't say, yes, I definitely want the human race to survive. They're not really sure. The culture of this, if anyone, has anyone seen the Spirited Away Studio Ghibli film? Yes. Yeah, right. Do you remember No Face, who comes in through the window and starts to eat shit at a crazy rate? That is, in a word, what is happening right now with these massive greed manufacturers called AI companies. We've let them in, and they've started to eat huge amounts of our resources, of our creative output, of our water, of our electricity, of our culture, of our children's futures. And what it's now doing is rampaging through the bathhouse, analogy gets a bit stretched there, and eating all of our stuff whilst we run at it and throw gold at it. And that is what we can get together and try to slow down, stop through big mass participation assemblies. So yeah, I've got like a QR code. The website's pulltheplug.uk. If you want to sign up, then you can join the communities. There'll be local groups starting soon. You can get involved in all sorts of ways.
So much more of this infrastructure that we've got. The primary purpose of military is to be so dominant that those people don't have to fight and die. Because everyone knows you're going to die 10 times more if you attack America. You want to sleep at night, you want to make sure our soldiers don't have to fight and die, make sure the adversary knows they're going to get totally effed up.
Every outcome that may or may not be to an actual day. We are not seen as more people, as possibilities. We are seen as options, but never ending neutral or romance. It's like every article of commerce, we are exposed to all the misfortunes of competition, i.e. the perpetual perception of importance. Being with someone now is not enough. Because you are missing out on the features of every other person you are to buy. And because of the extensive use of machinery to buy labor, the work of the proletariat has lost all individual character. I.e., the algorithm reminds you of something you once wanted to be, but never quite got there. The algorithm delivers uncertainty, and the only thing that becomes transparent is our insights. We are an appendage to the machine. Outside for a cigarette and you offer me one. But I don't smoke when I'm not blackout drunk, so I watch you instead. Hear me out. most simple, most monotonous, and most easily acquired skill is required of us. The existence of affordance, the type of endless possibility which exists even when we are looking at them. The abundance of what could have been is always around the corner and so much more painful to miss out on. And searching for what is good now. Is now good? Cigarette.
Echo, the little baby blue and green machine, simulated earth colors, simulated love, found roaming the courtyard, 62 degrees north, 57 south. Canary tucked into the metallic folds of its arms. A songbird. Humanity's folk song in beats and clicks. Kindness, sunshine, late. understand what it is you were trying to say to me. Drivel, babble, double speak, incomprehensible, indecipherable, impenetrable, ununderstandable. Somewhere in my romantic heart that I could join you